Good evening, everybody. This is Christian Krasowitz, social media strategist. And, earlier this week I said, I sent out a message and I said, you know what, I would like everybody, if you have questions, to post them on my Facebook wall, send me a tweet, things like that, right? And I've gotten a lot of responses. I'm working on getting those videos together for you. But this particular topic, tonight's topic, is going to cover Twitter. And you're probably like, well, I already know how to use Twitter. Sure, you probably know how to use Twitter. These may be some basic tips, but again, I'm here to help everybody. I'm here to answer questions about the things that you need to know regarding using Facebook, using Twitter, using YouTube, using other forms of social media. So tonight's topic is on Twitter, and we are going to cover three things. I'm going to keep these really simple for everybody. The first item we're going to cover is the @ sign, if you can see that there. So we're going to cover the @ sign, right? You're probably like, well, what is that, right? The second thing we're going to cover, the hashtag, okay? And then the third thing, this is ones for like when you get a lot of followers on Twitter and you want to communicate back and forth, direct messages, okay? So the first one, we're going to cover is the @ sign. And so let's get started. I'm going to jump over to my screen and we will work with how to use these different areas on Twitter to effectively communicate and engage with people. So we're going to get started with the @ sign. As I mentioned, the @ sign on Twitter is a way to reference another user. And there's two ways you can do this. So for instance, the first way is when somebody says, hey, I'm on Twitter, follow me at whatever my username is. So in this case, let me go here and find one. Let's go look for let me actually click on the home link and go to my own tweets, actually. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my own tweets. And so for instance, like let's start with the first one here that says, retweet at Will Ferrell. Okay. So if I'm on Twitter, for instance, and Will Ferrell said, hey, this is my Twitter username, it's at Will Ferrell, I could just write it at Will Ferrell. See how it's one word? That's his username. And what you can do with this, it's pretty neat, is I can click his name here and I will go over to his full Twitter profile and I can see what it is that he's talked about. Obviously, this is the Twitter desktop. So at Will Ferrell. One thing to note, Twitter usernames do not have spaces. They cannot have spaces. So if he had written it, for instance, as at Will space Ferrell, it would not have worked. The other way you can write your username on Twitter is, when somebody says, hey, my name is at Will Ferrell in this case, I can actually go up here to Twitter and I can drop the @ sign and I can hit enter here and I will actually go to Will Ferrell's Twitter account. In this case, this is apparently a different Will Ferrell. So let's go back and figure out which one that was. So sometimes you can also just copy it like this. You can go over to Twitter, we can paste it, and we should get Will Ferrell's Twitter profile. There we go. Look at that. So two ways, at Will Ferrell or drop the @ sign. So for instance, this is number one. And the second one is drop the @ sign and do twitter.com/Will Ferrell. Okay. So that is the first thing that you can do on Twitter. Well, the importance of this is not only does it allow you to find this person on, to reference this person, to send a tweet to this person, okay? So if I said, at Will Ferrell, I think you're hilarious, he would then get an update, which I will show you over here. I'm going to go over to home and I'm going to show you what my mentions are. For instance, these are people that said at CK Rocks, which is my Twitter name. So for instance, this person wrote to me, right? And they referenced my name in here. So as they referenced my name, I then got a notification in the form of an email or in the form of a pop-up notification on my phone saying I had a new mention on Twitter. Pretty cool, right? So to do this, let's just start. It's really simple. I want to refer to somebody. So let's see if we can come up with somebody. Let's come up with, let's see. So let's say we were going to go, we wanted to send a tweet to Bill Gates, okay? So I don't know Bill Gates' Twitter username, so I can do two things. I can either go here and type Bill Gates, and obviously it's doing a search, and it says, hey, these are all the people that have mentioned Bill Gates. and if I click on this tab that says people, it will show me Twitter users that are named Bill Gates. In this case, Bill Gates, Bill Gates, Bill Gates was mentioned in the biography here. So in this case, this looks like Bill Gates' official account. So in this case, I can click his name, and now I said, oh, sharing cool things I'm learning through my foundation. Great. This looks like Bill Gates' account. So I can then go over to Twitter on here. So I've done something. I'm going to send a tweet to Bill Gates at Bill Gates. Love how you love how you always give back to others. Okay. That's all I have to really do on Twitter. And if I hit tweet, Bill Gates will get a notification that CK Rocks, me, sent him a tweet that says, love how you always give back to others. And at that point, he can make the decision, do I want to respond or do I want to just leave it as it is? So that is the @ on Twitter. Okay. The second item of business is called the hashtag. You'll often hear people mispronounce this. They'll call it hashtag, hashback, whatever. It's $. It is a way to group tweets together. So, for example, I will go back to, let's see what's popular today. So I'm going to look up the words. I notice right here the word law and order is really popular, right? So I'm going to look up the word law and order. Okay. What this is going to show me right here is anybody mentioning the word law and order. You see? Law and Order LA, watching Law and Order, great, right? So this is kind of neat. These are people I don't even know. I can interact with these people if I want to, right? So I could click here and say, oh, well, hey, is this somebody I want to talk to? Yes, okay, great. So I'm going to follow them. And now they're going to get a notification saying, hey, Christian CK Rocks is now following you. Well, again, we're talking about the hashtag. So the importance of the hashtag is this. Instead of having to type this in here and to look through all of these different tweets, because as you can see, these are people that mention law and order as one word. This one, for instance, notice how I did ampersand. This one wrote law, where'd it go? Law and order. This one wrote pound law and ampersand order. Okay, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for. You might get somebody mentioning, the words law and the word order in a tweet that actually is not what you're looking for. So that's where having a hashtag comes into play. So basically, let's do a different search. Let's type in law and order. Okay, and let's see what comes up. So I've done a search here. So for instance, now we get something different. We get pound or pound law and order or hashtag of law and order. Okay, so pretty neat. I can click. So watch what happens here. Okay, so before I would have to scroll through all those tweets to see who was talking about that. Well, when you use a hashtag, if you click this particular one, look what happens. It shows me every single tweet that is using pound law and order. And what happens is the more people that talk about a particular topic, the more it becomes something right here called a trending topic. In this case, you have a couple of people here because their name was mentioned a lot, but you have extreme couponing, for instance, that showed up. And so this is basically how a hashtag works. As I mentioned, the great thing about hashtags, they allow you to group tweets together. So for example, I'll give you another really simple example. I want to look up the word cosmetics, okay? Well, in looking up the word cosmetics, look what I get. I get all these people. This person mentioned cosmetics. This person did pound cosmetics. This person mentioned cosmetics. I don't really know, what's really being talked about. Tattoo cover talked about cosmetics. So when I use a hashtag, in this case, pound cosmetics, this is a way to get your tweet put together with other people talking about the same topic, the same category. So in this case, I'm going to type the word pound cosmetics and let's see what comes up. Great. I'm seeing, most of the time, these are going to be relevant people that are talking about cosmetics. This person's saying, hey, retweet this. Too Faced Cosmetics, they're talking about a product, I guess. This person, is telling people, they might be interested about this place, and apparently it has something to do with cosmetics. Here's some people, talking about, different eyeshadows. We have people here. You can enjoy this website. This person didn't tell me anything, but I might want to click through and say, well, what is that? Because I know that it's in the cosmetics field. Now, don't go using this, to necessarily put your tweets into the wrong category just for the sake of being seen. If you're planning, for instance, like if you're a makeup artist, for instance, or you like cosmetics a lot, or you got your own blog that talks about cosmetics, you may want to start adding Pound Cosmetics to your tweets. And the reason why is so that you show up with all of these other people that are tweeting about this. I mean, look at this. This is a lot of people. I can keep scrolling here. Look at this. Continue to scroll, and I can find people that talk about something that's relevant to cosmetics, or in this case, Pound Makeup or Pound Beauty. Again, you got to notice something here. A lot of people are not putting in specific words for like a hashtag. They're not saying, Pound and their brand. Why are they not doing this? Because you have to actually know that brand to really find it. So in this case, you really, when you're writing a tweet about something, in this case, say it's makeup, makeup tips, it's great to talk about a brand and whatnot. But the one thing you want to probably try to stay focused on is putting, also being sure to include, a generic tag. For instance, like cosmetics or like makeup. If you were talking about lipstick, do Pound Lipstick. That will actually get your tweets to show up with people that are, with other like-minded people. So the third and final topic for the night is direct messages on Twitter. Direct messages, really you can compare them to this. Direct messages are a private tweet between a person. And a tweet is defined as a 140 character message to somebody. So for example, if I wanted to send a direct message to somebody, your @sign, there are two ways you can really do that. One is I can actually go into somebody. So for instance, I'm going to go over here and type in a person that I'm friends with on Twitter. Okay. And I'm going to go again, like I said, I'm going to people search, or I could click through. I said, okay, hey, this is the person I'm friends with, right? So I'm going to click their name and watch what's going to happen. I get a box that says message. Okay. And what happens with message here is that this allows me to make my tweet private between just me and Natalia Rocks, for instance. So for instance, like sometimes, you don't want to put stuff, everything you put on Twitter is public. So if you didn't want something to be public, you could easily just click this box. It says send Natalia a message. I can type in something. As you see, I have a 140 character limit, and I can hit send. She will, I'm gonna write her a tweet, practicing sending direct messages, and I could hit send, for instance, and then she will get a message. So I'm gonna say practicing sending direct messages. How is the weather in Florida? Okay. Again, this might be something I don't want to clog up on Twitter, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna hit send, and now I'm gonna get a message that says your message was sent. So that's the first way you direct message somebody. The second way is, as you saw here, I had a box that says what's happening. Okay, I know this Twitter user's name, right? Because you said it was @NataliaRocks. So I'm going to do d@NataliaRocks. Okay. One thing I want you to notice, I'm going to do this again. You see how it says message Natalia Rocks here, right? So I'm going to delete this, and we're going to do that all over again. Look at that. What's happening, right? So when it says what's happening, I can write @Natalia Rocks, and I'm mentioning her in this tweet. Okay, pretty cool, right? But if I want to make this private, all I have to do this. I just put a D, it can be a capital or a lowercase, and then space, and that user's name, and then type in, this is a test message, for instance, and hit send message, and she will get a private message from me, which she can respond to privately through Twitter. So there you have it. That is how to use the @sign, the hashtag, and the direct message. I will try to cover the retweet and maybe some suggested strategies for retweeting in the next video tutorial, but I hope you all have had a great evening. Again, if you don't understand something, you need further clarification, send me either a tweet, @CKRocks, or you can also leave me a message on the wall. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great evening. Thanks, everybody.